When a six-time world karate champion points at you in front of 500 people and demands that you prove everything you've been saying, you have two choices. Walk away and let doubt spread, or step into the ring and show them why doubt was never necessary. Bruce Lee chose the second option, and in 15 seconds, Chuck Norris learned that being undefeated and being unstoppable are not the same thing. Los Angeles Olympic Auditorium, 1040 South Grand Avenue, July 22, 1967, Saturday morning, 10:15. The building smells like floor wax and sweat. Wooden seats creak under 500 bodies. The acoustics carry every sound, every cough, every whispered conversation, every footstep on the wooden competition floor. Bruce Lee arrives alone, 31 years old, 5'7", 35 pounds, dark grey suit, slim cut, white shirt, thin black tie, no sunglasses, no entourage, walks through the main entrance at 10:23, pays $5 admission, takes a program, walks down the center aisle, finds a seat in the third row, aisle seat, sits down, crosses his right leg over left, rests his hands on his knee, becomes completely still, the kind of stillness that eventually makes people turn and look, because something about it feels different from normal restlessness. The tournament is standard for 1967 Los Angeles Youth Division's first kata competition, forms performed with precision, then sparring divisions, point fighting, controlled contact, first to 3 points wins. Bruce watches each division with total focus, no commentary, no visible judgment, just observation. His eyes track movement like a predator tracks prey, not with aggression, with the desire to understand. At 11:15, the announcer's voice crackles through speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special demonstration. Six-time world karate champion, winner of the All-American Championships, the International Karate Championships, 4 consecutive wins at Long Beach. Please welcome Chuck Norris. The applause is immediate, loud, respectful. 500 people who know exactly who Chuck Norris is and what he represents. Excellence, dedication, dominance. The man who steps into the ring is 27 years old, 5'10", 175 pounds, light brown hair, full beard, white karate guy, black belt tied perfectly. He moves with the confidence of someone who has never lost when it mattered, who has stood on podiums, held trophies, been photographed with medals around his neck. Chuck begins his demonstration. His kicks are fast, clean, chambered perfectly, extended with full power, retracted with control. His punches snap, his blocks are tight. Everything looks exactly like what karate is supposed to look like when performed by a master. The crowd watches with genuine appreciation. This is skill. This is what competitive excellence produces. Bruce Lee watches from the third row with the same calm attention, not impressed, not skeptical, analyzing. Chuck finishes a sequence, spinning back kick, perfectly executed, lands in perfect stance. The crowd applauds. Then someone near the front row says something, not loud, but loud enough. That's Bruce Lee. Third row. Chuck's eyes shift, finds Bruce immediately, the man in the dark suit sitting completely still. Their eyes meet for 2 seconds. Chuck nods once, acknowledgement, then steps toward the edge of the ring, looks directly at Bruce. "Mr. Lee," he says, voice clear, carrying across the auditorium. "I've heard a lot about your kung fu, about how effective it is, how fast, how different from what we do here." He gestures at the ring, but I have to be honest. In my experience, tournament fighting is where you prove what works. Competition, real opponents, real pressure, and what I've seen from Kung Fu demonstrations doesn't convince me it would work here, against trained fighters. He pauses. The auditorium is completely silent. Every person leaning forward. Chuck continues, voice respectful but challenging. If you believe your Kung Fu is effective, I'd like to see it. Not a demonstration, a test. Step up here and show me. Show everyone. Prove it. His right hand comes up, index finger extended, points directly at Bruce Lee. The gesture is not aggressive, but it's definite. It's a challenge. Public, clear, undeniable. 500 people watching, waiting. Bruce Lee looks at Chuck Norris for 3 full seconds. His face shows nothing. No anger, no wounded pride, no hesitation, just calm awareness. Then he stands, doesn't rush, doesn't announce, just rises with the same economy of movement he brings to everything. Removes his suit jacket, folds it carefully, places it on his seat, loosens his tie slightly, rolls his neck once, each side, then walks toward the ring. His footsteps on the wooden floor are the only sound in the entire auditorium. He steps over the lowest rope, into the ring. Chuck watches him approach. The size difference is visible, but not dramatic. Chuck is 3 inches taller, 40 pounds heavier, broader shoulders, thicker legs, the body of someone who has built strength through years of training. Bruce stops 6 feet from Chuck, doesn't bow, doesn't take a formal stance, just stands, hands relaxed at his sides, weight evenly distributed, completely available. Chuck looks at him. No rules, no points, just show me what works. Bruce's response is quiet, but it carries. Okay. Chuck takes his fighting stance. Classical karate, left foot forward, right foot back, hands up, guard position, weight on the balls of his feet. Everything he's done 10,000 times in competition, everything that's made him a champion. Bruce doesn't take a stance. His feet are shoulder-width apart, his hands hang loose, his body looks completely unprepared, vulnerable. Chuck sees this, decides to test it. He steps forward, leads with a front kick, fast, chambered perfectly, extended toward Bruce's midsection. Good technique, championship technique, but when the kick arrives at the space where Bruce was standing, Bruce is no longer there. He's moved laterally, 3 inches to the left, minimal displacement. The kick passes through empty air, and in the same instant, Bruce's right hand moved forward. Open palm, strikes Chuck's extended leg, side of the calf, specific point. Chuck's leg goes numb immediately, not painful, just dead. No feeling, no control. He pulls it back, tries to reset, but his balance is off, his stance compromised. He adjusts, switches stance, tries a different approach, throws a reverse punch. Full commitment, hip rotation, power technique. The punch travels toward Bruce's head, fast, direct, should connect. But Bruce's head isn't there when the fist arrives. He's slipped, moved 4 inches to the right. The punch misses by a margin so small, it's almost insulting. Bruce's left hand rises, finds Chuck's extended arm, doesn't block it, redirects it, guides it past his own shoulder, uses Chuck's momentum against him. Chuck's body follows his arm, off balance, forward, too far forward. Bruce's right hand comes up. Not a strike, a touch, fingertips, light contact, Chuck's throat, right at the Adam's apple. Not pressure, just position, just proof that if Bruce wanted to strike, the strike would land before Chuck could defend. Chuck freezes. His body recognizes what his mind is still processing. He's vulnerable, completely open, completely controlled, and he never saw it coming. Bruce's hand moves away, steps back, gives space, resets to that same neutral position. Chuck stands there, breathing, processing, his competitive mind, trying to reconcile what just happened with everything he knows about fighting. He tries again, because champions don't quit. Feints with his left hand, then throws a spinning back kick. High, fast, powerful, the kind of kick that's won him tournaments, the kind that requires commitment and leaves you vulnerable if it misses. It misses. Bruce has already moved inside, closer, under Chuck's rotation, into the blind spot the spin creates. Chuck completes the rotation, brings his leg down, finds Bruce standing 6 inches from him, too close to kick, too close to punch effectively. Bruce's right hand moves, open palm, touches his chest. Light pressure, pushes, not hard, just enough. Chuck's balance is already compromised from landing the spin. The push finds that moment of instability. His feet slide backward, not a fall, just displacement, loss of control, loss of center. He catches himself, regains footing, but something has shifted. 15 seconds total. 3 techniques from Chuck. 3 responses from Bruce. 0 successful connections from Chuck. 3 demonstrations of control from Bruce. The auditorium is silent. People aren't breathing, aren't moving, just watching. Bruce steps back, gives more space, looks at Chuck. His expression hasn't changed. Still calm, still neutral. Chuck looks back, and for the first time in years, he doesn't know what to do. "I've never seen that before," Chuck says. Voice quiet, honest. Bruce nods once. Different approach, not better, not worse, different. Tournament karate is excellent for what it's designed for. Controlled environment, rules, points. You're a champion because you've mastered that system. He pauses, but there are other systems, other approaches. I didn't come here to prove you wrong. I came here to show you there's more to explore. Chuck takes a breath, processes this, then extends his hand. Bruce shakes it. The grip is firm, respectful. "Can you teach me what you just did?" Chuck asks. Bruce looks at him, sees genuine interest, genuine humility, the willingness to learn. "Yes, if you're willing to start as a beginner, to question what you know, to empty your cup." Chuck nods. "I'm willing." Bruce steps out of the ring, walks back to his seat, puts his jacket back on, sits down. The tournament continues, but something has changed. In the ring, Chuck Norris stands alone, still the 6-time world champion, still undefeated in competition, but now aware that being the best in one system doesn't mean knowing everything there is to know. 3 months later, Chuck Norris walks into Bruce Lee's school in Chinatown. He trains there for the next 6 years, learns trapping, learns economy of motion, learns to think about fighting differently. The friendship that develops becomes one of the most important relationships in both their lives. But it started here, in this ring, in these 15 seconds, when a champion learned that confidence and knowledge are not the same thing. Years later, Chuck will say in interviews that Bruce Lee changed the way he understood martial arts, that those 15 seconds in the Olympic auditorium were the most important 15 seconds of his training life. Not because he lost, but because he learned that he could still learn, that mastery isn't a destination, it's a direction, and that the moment you think you've arrived is the moment you stop growing. On this Saturday morning in July 1967, 500 people witnessed the beginning of a friendship that would shape martial arts cinema and philosophy for decades. But what they remember most isn't the techniques, it's the moment after, when Chuck Norris extended his hand and Bruce Lee took it, because that's when a challenge became a lesson, and a lesson became a relationship, and a relationship became something that outlasted both of them,